Today, we're going to talk about some of the most difficult human behaviors out there, things like bullying, aggression, control, and we're going to look at them through a completely different lens, a lens that might just change how you see these confrontations forever.
Just think about it for a second. That moment in an argument, right? Maybe it's with your boss, a partner, even a family member, and you just feel like you can't win. They seem to have all the power, and you have, well, none. It's a terrible feeling, and I think it's one we all know. This right here, this idea is an absolute game changer. What if that person who seems so strong, so in control, is actually in a state of complete internal panic? We're going to unpack this because, honestly, once you get the biology behind it, everything changes.
Okay, so to really understand this, we have to start right here. Anxiety is probably the single most uncomfortable emotion our nervous system can even experience. It's like this full-body hum of fear, and there's no off switch. So our brain, it's hardwired to find that switch by any means necessary.
So how does the brain get out of it? Well, it finds a different emotion to latch onto. See, anxiety feels like weakness, like you're overwhelmed with terror. But anger? Oh, anger feels totally different. Anger feels like power. It feels like control. That rush of adrenaline that comes with anger is so much more bearable than that crushing weight of anxiety. So the brain, it literally just flips a switch.
And this is the crucial part to get. When someone lashes out at you, they are basically self-medicating. That anger, that yelling, it provides this momentary chemical relief from their own internal terror. It is a biological reaction, not a logical response to whatever you just did or said. You didn't cause it, you were just the nearest person when their internal alarm went off.
But, this panic doesn't always show up as just pure anger. It actually has three main disguises, three switches that the brain uses to try and cope. Let's take a look at the first one.
So, switch number one is aggression. This is the most obvious one, right? We've all seen it. The person who just seems to be at war with everyone and everything. The explosive temper, the constant need to pick a fight. It looks like a show of dominance, but it's really not.
What you're actually witnessing is a nervous system that is so completely overloaded with fear that its only remaining option is to go on the attack. It's that classic fight-or-flight response, but it's just stuck in fight mode.
Okay, now this next one is so much more subtle. It's the over-nurturer. You know this person, the one who can't stop fixing your problems, who hovers over your every single move, and who maybe makes you feel a little guilty for being independent. It can almost feel like they're just being really caring.
But here's the thing, it's not love that's driving this behavior, it's anxiety. They're absolutely terrified of what might happen if they let go of control. So control becomes their medicine. And every time you comply, every time you let them fix it for you, you're unknowingly giving them a dose of that medicine. It literally lowers their stress hormone cortisol, which just reinforces the whole cycle.
And the third switch is a need for rigid scripts. This is the person who has a very precise, unchangeable plan for, well, everything. How a holiday dinner has to unfold, exactly how a certain conversation needs to go, how you are supposed to behave.
And you have to understand the fear underneath this. For them, deviating from that script isn't just a simple disagreement. No, it feels like a direct threat to their actual safety. Unpredictability is terrifying to them. So sticking to the script is the only way they know how to keep themselves feeling safe.
So what is really going on inside someone's brain when these switches get flipped? Well, it is not some calculated adult strategy. It is pretty much the exact opposite. When someone explodes or gets intensely controlling, what we call the conductor, the rational adult part of their brain, it has basically gone offline. It's been completely hijacked by pure panic. You are literally witnessing a biological system crash in real time. And what's left when that conductor is gone? This. You're no longer dealing with a strategic thinking adult. You are now dealing with a very scared, very overwhelmed child who's just using the only tools they have, like tantrums, blame, manipulation, all to try and feel safe again. Now, this is so important. None of this is about excusing their behavior at all. It's actually about protecting yourself. This understanding, this becomes your armor. Let's call it radical compassion. And let's be crystal clear about what this is and what it isn't. This is not forgiveness. It is not about letting them off the hook. It is a strategic understanding. It's knowing what's happening under the surface so deeply that their actions no longer have the power to wound you.
Think about it this way.
When you can look at someone who's in the middle of an explosion and actually see their internal system crashing, you start to realize their behavior isn't really a statement about your worth. It's a symptom of their own chaos. They're just doing it near you.
And this is where the power dynamic truly shifts. You stop seeing a powerful attacker and you start seeing someone who is completely trapped in their own panic response. And once you see that, their words, their accusations, they just don't hit the same way. They completely lose their sting.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. That feeling of being small that we started with, this perspective just takes it away. Because you're no longer looking at a giant, you're looking at the frightened child inside. And that changes absolutely everything.